to my YouTube channel. My name is Tabitha. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Today we are going to talk about credit score. What is credit score? Why is it important? And how can we build credit score? What is credit score? Credit score is used to determine the reliability of someone in repaying their credit or their debt. It's also determine the trustworthiness. Like if you have someone who is borrowing money from you, are they going to pay it back and when? And is it risky to lend you money if you want to borrow money from the bank, or if you want to buy a new home? So it's very important for all of us to build our credit. How do you get this information then? So we have to rely on this credit score, and our score range between 300 and 900, and these numbers communicate where you belong in this report. So those who have 900 are being considered the low risk, the most likely to repay their debt. So, but what do we use this information for? So if you are among the 900, excellent. So some employers will use this information to determine who qualify for that job, because some jobs do require credit check. So if someone is 900, if someone has a 900 credit score, they will most likely qualify to do that job, as opposed to the one who has 300 or 500 credit score. This information is also used by landlords when they're looking for a new tenant, and they will check for their credit score. And if someone have a higher credit score, it will give them that confidence that this individual is responsible, they are reliable, they can pay their rent on time, they don't need to be reminded to pay their rent on time. So they will choose the one who have a higher credit score. When you decide to go get a mortgage or a new home, so the mortgage companies will have to track your credit score, and the one who have a higher score will be approved for mortgage and most likely pay less interest. And when applying for credit card, so when you're applying for credit card, they will also check your credit score. So if you have a higher credit score, it will mean that you are less risky and you most likely to pay your credits on time. Buying a new car, especially on credit, so they will have to track down your credit score. If you have a higher credit score, it's most likely that they will give you that car. If you don't have higher credit, it will depend with the lender. They might ask you to pay higher interest or ask you to have a cosigner. So it's very important, because we all need this thing in life. So you might, if you're not buying a home, you might need a car. If you don't need a car, you might need a credit card, maybe a credit card to build your credit score. So we all need all these things, so we should start building our credit. What about if you fall in between 300 group, 500 group? You will be considered to have poor credit score, higher risk, most likely to default payment, which is we consider bad credit. But what are some of the disadvantages that you invite to yourself if you have 300 score or consider bad credit? So if a company decide to give you money, so they will decide to charge you higher interest. So that higher interest will make you lose money because of not having a higher credit score. Or you will be asked to bring someone in who will be a co-signer, and sometimes people are not willing to be co-signers because they don't know, maybe that individual might go and default the payment, and if they will be responsible for that debt. So it's hard. So it's very good for you to build your credit, so you don't have to go and call someone to be your co-signer. Is you for mortgage companies, if they decide to give you a mortgage, especially the private companies, they will require you to do light down payment, so that just in case you default payment, it will ease. They would won't have to pay like a lot of money back to the lender. But how do you get your credit score? How do you get this information? You have to go to credit bureaus, which is Equifax, TransUnion, Credit Karma, and Borrowers. So all these credit bureaus will really give you a credit report that will show where you belong. Is it 300, 500, 600, 900, and it will explain which one is excellent and which one is low, like what I've just explained in the previous slide. So now let's see, when you're doing your credit report, you know what this report is all about. Is on your loan, your credit card, your application inquiries, all those things. So this will make up components of credit score. So your credit score is not just based on maybe payment, it's not only based on your credit history, it's not based on your credit inquiries. So it all come together, all your payment, your inquiries, your credit utilization, all those things, they make up your credit score. Your credit score component. So what really now gives you that number? How does that number come from? Okay, so you need like to understand. So are you always scoring low, and why? So that credit score component is made up of payment history, which make up a huge percentage, which is 35%. It's also made up of credit utilization, which is 30%. Credit history make up 15%. Credit mix make up 10%, and credit inquiries make up 10%. If you keep your eye on these 5 components of your credit score, you will always have a high credit score. So let's look at this. So you have a credit card, but you need to use it to build your credit. So this will show you your payment history. So you're using your credit to pay your purchases. So the moment you try to use it to pay purchases, you're increasing your credit score. But until you pay it on time, because you might ruin it on the other side, you can use it for bill payments. So when you use it for bill payment, you are also increasing your credit score. Car loan, you're using to pay mortgage, using it to pay internet bill, phone bill, student loan. Decreasing your credit utilization. Credit utilization means the available credit you have already used. So this means like you need to keep it under 30% or 25%. In other words, you don't need to overuse your credit card or credit card limit. If you overuse it, and then you will have a problem. So you will be decreasing your credit score. So let's say, for example, you have a credit card that have a credit limit of 2,000. For you to be on the safer side, it's better for you to use only 30% of that amount. If you use that 30% of the amount, it would be only 600 a month. And make sure you have that 600 a month so you can pay it back when you get the bill. When you pay it on time, you will avoid interest. Or you use 25%, which give you 500 a month. But if you use all 2,000 that month, it means like you're hurting your credit score. It will decrease your credit score. If you for sure need more money, and then you can decide to request credit increase from your company, the company that give you that credit card. So let's say, for example, they increase that credit limit to 3,500. So we mean your 30% of 3,500 will give you $1,050, or 25% of 3,500 will give you 835. So in this case, you're still keeping your credit utilization below 30% or 25%, but now you're using more money. So, and make sure that you have that money to pay on time. Or the other way of also increasing your is by using 2 or more credit cards. If you're very responsible and you know that you're not going to overuse them, and then you can have 2 credit cards, maybe those that have 2,000, or both of them have 2,000, or they have 3,500. So if you have those two, and then you will have now 25% on this and 25% on this, and they will all give you more money, and you will still not go beyond your credit utilization of that month. Credit history. So you build credit history when you're using maybe credit card, and then you have used it for a while, and this will show whether you are paying on time, were you paying late, did you had a good credit when in the past 5 years, and what happened, what did you do right, what didn't you do right. So that credit history will make up 15% of your credit score. So, and the most important thing, like if you have a credit card that you don't use no more, you do not need to cancel it. If you cancel it, it will make your available credit drop. It will also make your utilization increase and credit score drop. So you need to keep that all credit card. If you don't use it and it's charging you annual fee, maybe you should consider cancel it, but it will hurt your credit score a bit. Credit mix. So the credit mix is those who have diversified loans. Like you don't have to go out and get more loans, so you can get that 10% of your credit score. But just in case, if you have car loan, mortgage loan, student loan, personal finance loan, or personal loan, this will help like boost your credit score if you're paying them on time every other month. So it will increase your credit score by 10%. Credit inquiries. So credit inquiries happen if you decide to apply for new credit card, or maybe you need a house. So you go around, go to TD, and you make them check your credit. Apply for something at TD and they reject you. You go to CIBC, you apply for mortgage and they reject you, and then you go to RBC and you apply for mortgage and they reject you. So if you go to another company now and they get that history of you trying to apply for mortgage and you get declined, that one will actually affect your credit, and that company will decide to decline you because it shows like a lot of companies have refused to give you this mortgage. So your credit worthiness goes down. So advice is that if you apply for a mortgage, you might do like one application at time for multiple companies, so it will show only you apply once, even if a lot of companies access that information. And soft inquiries does not have any effect on your credit score. So credit inquiries will make up 10% of your credit score. So if you don't do hard inquiries every other time or now and then you're good. That will help your credit score goes up. But if you do it every other month, it will reduce your credit score by 10%. This is the end of the video.